really all we're doing today is kind of adding on the tax to the selling price to get the total purchase price. It's kind of just an extra step from what we had yesterday. So let me get this date corrected here. Today's the 15th. All right. So for total purchase price, I'm just going to do a quick little definition. So total purchase price. And our definition, we're going to say that it equals the total selling price plus the sales tax. So total purchase price, we're just adding the selling price to the sales tax. And just a reminder from yesterday that sales tax was equal to the selling price multiplied by the sales tax rate. So today we are saying that total purchase price is equal to the selling price plus the sales tax. And that's it. So really it's just one additional step of addition versus what we saw yesterday. And I think we have 3 or 4 examples today. So it should be, like I said, hopefully it'll be pretty quick. So let's take a look at example number 1 down here. Mike Kraus owns a tree trimming company. He purchases the items listed on the sales receipt right here. And Mike checks the information on the receipt. The sales tax rate is 5%. What is the total purchase price? So, let's go ahead and start taking a look right through here. So the amounts are going to be just the straight amounts off to the side right here. And then we're going to get our subtotal. We're going to calculate the amount of sales tax. And then we're going to add them up for the total purchase price at the bottom. So by the way, these are, notice that this description is talking about the price per item. It tells us the number of items over here. So it will matter in terms of the numbers that end up over in the amount. And I'll show you that in just a second. So one chainsaw was purchased for $539.95. So that just stays $539.95. No difference there. There were 12 quantities of chainsaw bar oil for $4.95 each. So make sure that that chainsaw doesn't end up rusting and coming to a screeching halt. So 12 of those at $4.95 each. So $4.95 times 12, $59.40. I'm just going to put a line underneath each of these as well, just so I can make sure that everything is acting as it should. All right, so $59.40 for the chainsaw bar oil. 2 sets of safety chaps, $69.95 each. So 2 of those is $139.90. And 2 safety helmets for $45.95 each. $91.90 for those. All right. So the subtotal is just these added together. So we'll add those all up. So 539.95 plus 59.40 plus 139.90 plus 91.90. 831.15. So $831.15. Okay. Now the sales tax is 5%, so we need to actually figure out the sales tax. So down here, I'm just going to write sales tax equals the selling price, which is $831.15, times the sales tax rate. This is the formula we used yesterday. 5% is 0.05. So multiply 0.05, $41.56. That's how much tax is being paid on those items. And so the total purchase price is just the sum of these two right here. So $872.71. And that's our answer. So it's pretty much exactly what we did yesterday. Calculate the sales tax, starting off what we did yesterday, and just adding the sales tax to the selling price to get the total purchase price. We got a few more examples to do on the second page, and then we should be able to, like I said, hopefully get out of here a little bit early today. And then you can start enjoying your 3-day weekend. Maybe watch the episode of Bob Ross that I posted in Google Classroom, because it is Bob Ross Friday. All right, here we go. Complete the problem. There's no book. So Wesley Novak bought two-way radios for $59.99 each. 2 surge protectors at $19.99 each, a wireless printer router for $79.98, and 3 color ink cartridges at $34.99 each. What is the total purchase price if he lives in West Virginia, where the sales tax is 6%? All right, so let's see, radios. There were 2 of them, so $59.99 times 2. $119.98 for the radios. We're looking at surge protectors. There were 2 of those at $19.99 each. $39.98 for the surge protectors. A wireless printer router. So router, I don't know what a wireless printer router is. That doesn't really, those are like 2 different things. I don't know. $79.98 for that. 3 color ink cartridges at $34.99 each. So $34.99 times 3. $104.97 for ink. All right. So let's see, we'll go with selling price. Will just be the sum of those 4 things right there. So we've got the $119.98 plus the $39.98 plus $79.98 plus the $104.97. $344.91. Okay. So we got our selling price there. Now we need to calculate the sales tax. So sales tax will be the selling price of $344.91 multiplied by the sales tax rate, which is 6% or 0.06. So we're looking at $20.69 in tax. So the total purchase price is going to equal the selling price plus the sales tax. $365.60. $365.60. Okay. Now the next two have a little bit of algebra involved with them. So let's go ahead and see what these are all about. So our second one here, Rennie Gaston purchased a bathing suit from the clearance rack and gave the clerk $20. He received $3.98 in change. If the sales tax rate was 7%, find the total selling price. All right. So let's see, tax rate, 7%, which is 0.07. Find the selling price. So the selling price is pre-tax. So find selling price. That is pre-tax amount. That's before the sales tax is applied. So the purchase price is what we need to figure out here. How much So the total purchase price is what we're going to have to kind of figure out at first, and then we have to use that to figure out the selling price. So let me ask you this, including tax, see if you can figure this out real quick. Including tax, how much was the swimsuit? How much did he pay for that swimsuit, including tax? Type it in if you think you know it. I'll give you a clue. He gave the clerk $20, but he got $3.98 back in change. So what was the cost? The total purchase price. Anybody? So if you pay for something using a $20 bill and you get $3.98 back in change, how much did you pay for that thing? Good. Total purchase price, $16.02. Yeah, because you got money back. So you paid 20, but you got $3.98 back in change, which means that the purchase price was $16.02. Awesome. Okay, now we need to figure out the selling price. Now we know from the front of this page here that the total purchase price is equal to the selling price plus the sales tax. So total purchase price, TPP, equals the selling price, SP, plus sales tax rate, STR. I know it's a lot of abbreviations, but I'm not really wanting to write out all those words again. So we know that the total purchase price was $16.02, okay? And we don't know what the selling price was, so we can just use that, our variable for that. So I'm going to call that X. Plus oops, not the sales tax rate. Sorry, the sales tax, not sales tax rate. Selling price plus sales tax. Sorry. Okay. How do you calculate? Let me ask you this. How do you calculate sales tax? What do we have to do? Is what we have been doing earlier today and yesterday. So what does sales, like how do you find out what the sales tax actually is? Somebody type that in for me. Because the sales tax isn't 0.07. The sales tax rate is 0.07, but the sales tax itself is a separate calculation. And this is what we did yesterday. This is what we've done already today as well. So calculating sales tax right here is the selling price multiplied by the sales tax rate. So sales tax, this is two things multiplied together. It's the selling price, X, multiplied by the sales tax rate of 0.07. So if we multiply those two things together, that is what it looks like. The selling price, 0.07, multiplied by, or sorry, the sales tax rate, 0.07, multiplied by the selling price of X. And X by itself here is the same as 1X. And if we take a look, these two things, those are like terms. We can add those together. 1X plus 0.07X is 1.07X. Those can just be added together because they both have X. So we have 16.02 equals 1.07X. X is the selling price. So to get X by itself, we'll divide by 1.07. So how much are the swim trunks before taxes? Somebody do a calculation real quick and type it in. Let me know. How much were the swim trunks before taxes? $14.97. Perfect. So you go to the store, you see swim trunks, $14.97. You're like, sweet, I will buy those. And then you go to the counter and, well, if you live in a state with sales tax, you'll know it's going to cost more than that when you go to the counter because they have to apply the tax. When you shop in a state with a sales tax, and you've probably seen this before, like in Washington or other states, the price on the item does not include the sales tax. So it looks just normal, like what we would see here in Oregon. And then you take it to the counter, and then they apply the sales tax, and then it increases your final price at the end. So if you have to buy something in another state, make sure that you incorporate the sales tax to find out if you can actually buy all of it, because sometimes the tax will increase the amount enough that it makes it maybe a little bit less affordable. Case in point, there are oftentimes when you buy a car in other states, you have to pay sales tax on a car, which that's not a cheap thing, which means that the sales tax is also not a cheap thing. So this last problem here, Alonzo and Caitlin Diaz paid a total of $23,289.26 for their new automobile. This would be total. That is the total purchase price. So total purchase price, $23,289.26. If the sales tax rate in their community is 6.5%, so sales tax rate, okay. What was the total selling price? So this is going to be the same type of problem. So selling price, we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. So this problem will set up pretty much exactly the same as this previous problem. So I'm going to give you, say, 3 minutes. So at 2 o'clock, I'm going to check back in. I'm going to freeze my screen here. This one is going to set up pretty much exactly the same as the previous one. So 3 minutes. And as soon as you get an answer, feel free to type it into the chat. Curious to see what we end up with. Your answer, total selling price, should be less than the total purchase price, because selling price is before taxes, total purchase price is after tax. So work on this for a few minutes. I'll check back in at 2. To answer the question that was just put in there, look at the work from the previous problem and do it just like that. right, does anybody have any answers? Yeah, that's exactly it. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and cover things up just a little bit here, and then I'll move it down as we go. Now, I think the most important part of this is writing the equation so that it will actually work with the problem. So here is the equation that should be written down. So the total purchase price, $23,289.26, is equal to the selling price, which we're trying to figure out, we don't know, that's our X or our 1X, plus the amount paid in sales tax. And the amount paid in sales tax is always the selling price multiplied by the sales tax rate. So selling price X multiplied by the sales tax rate is 0.065 because it was 6.5%. So we can add these two together because they're like terms on the right-hand side, and that gives us 1.065x. Nothing changes on the left yet. To get X by itself, the selling price, we divide both sides by 1.065, and that gives us a selling price before tax of $21,867.85. So basically what we're looking at here, the sales tax increased the price of the car by $1,421.41. That'd be kind of annoying, right? Like you go and you think you're going to buy a car, and then you find out that you have to pay sales tax on it. You're like, wait a minute, that's almost $1,500 more for that car than the price that's on the sticker. So that is one of the convenient things about living in Oregon, is that whatever the price is on the sticker is exactly what you pay at the register or whatever else. So that is it for our notes for the day. So we have an assignment posted in Google Classroom. It will be due on Tuesday because Monday is MLK Day. So holiday on Monday. So we get Monday off, and we'll meet back up again on Tuesday. So let's see. Is the 1x just kind of there, like how that other formula with the exponents has a 1? Other formula with the exponents has a 1. I'm not sure which other formula you're referring to, but x is the same thing as 1x. So yeah, the 1 is there basically to let you know, or for me anyway. The 1 is here to remind myself that this x is a 1x because I'm going to add it to this other term here with an x. So the x plus 0.065x is 1 point. Yeah. So x and 1x are exactly the same thing. So x is equal to 1x. So there's no difference between them. I just think with combining like terms, I always find it easier if there's an x by itself. If I have to combine it with another x, I usually put a 1 next to the x by itself just to remind myself that, hey, that's a whole number 1 that I can add to this over here. So just a reminder, that's all. Cool, good question, by the way. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. We're out of here about 20 minutes early. So great work, everybody. I'll see you back here on Tuesday at 1:32. Yeah, have a great weekend. Bye.